This is Group D's Household Energy Assessment. The home profiled in this study is a 4,000 square foot suburban household in Alamance County, North Carolina. There are currently 5 occupants in the household. The total energy consumed over the course of the year was 25,955 kilowatt hours. The average rate for residential electricity generation by the utility in North Carolina is 10.91 cents per kilowatt hour. This amounted to a grand total of $2,831.69. The kilowatt hours used seem to be directly impacted by the external temperature to the house. Graphing the chart from the previous slide, we have laid out the most recent month's energy usage as compared to similar houses. The green diamond on the chart represents what the utility considers as an energy efficient home. The blue diamond represents the average house, and the orange diamond represents the consumer's household energy consumption. For the time period of December 4, 2020 to January 6, 2021, the consumer used more than 3 times the amount of an efficient home, while more than doubling the average home.
This is the overall rundown on your home's gas usage by the numbers. You used more therms in 2019 than you did in 2020. Because of this, you spent roughly $90 more on gas in 2019 as you did in 2020. This is because you used both more therms and the average price of therms was slightly more expensive as well. In order to convert therms into kilowatt hours, we must first convert therms into British thermal units by multiplying the therms used by 100,000. Once we do that, we can then divide the British thermal units by 3,412.14 to get the kilowatt hours. In 2019, your gas usage was 1.089 times higher than it was in 2020. The graph on the right compares the gas usage on a monthly basis between 2019 and 2020, with the unit being in kilowatt hours. As you can see, the gas usage in the colder months is high and the gas usage in the warmer months is low. Because of this, the application in your household taking up the most amount of gas would be the heater that is used to heat the house in the colder months of the year.
For transportation, there is a breakdown of each individual household vehicle, from most to least annual energy consumed. Included are year, make, and model of each car to give a little more context of why the energy consumption looks the way that it does. This is the 2016 Porsche Cayenne. It is the primary vehicle for this household, and it is driven most often, at about 21,000 miles per year. The monthly mileage was calculated by subtracting the odometer reading from 2019 from that was found in 2020. The miles per gallon for each vehicle was taken from the statistics generated by each vehicle. The 1987 Mercedes SL 560 is a leisure vehicle that is rarely driven by the occupants of the household. The average miles per gallon is comparable to that of the Porsche. However, it is a smaller, heavier vehicle. It was only driven about half of the miles of the Porsche, but it consumed 2/3 the amount of energy, making it much less efficient. The 2013 Lexus CT200H is a hybrid vehicle, making it much more efficient, energy efficient than the previous 2 vehicles, with an average miles per gallon of about 40. The miles driven are about 12,000, and it uses about the same amount of kilowatt hours of energy as the Mercedes. It's wrong. I don't. 2020 Tesla Model 3 is an all-electric vehicle. It's a work vehicle and it is driven fairly often. As you can see for this vehicle, we have calculated the average watt hours per mile consumed rather than the miles per gallon. This is about 300 watt hours per mile, and it is driven about the same amount as the Lexus is, but it consumes about a third of the amount of energy. The total energy usage of the transportation in this household is about 70,000 kilowatt hours for the gasoline consumption. Since there is also an all-electric vehicle, the total consumption is slightly different than just the gasoline, with about 4,000 added. So the total for the annual energy consumption due to transportation in this household is about 75,000 kilowatt hours.
The pie chart on the right shows how your energy consumption is broken down among the three categories. As you can see, transportation takes up the most energy usage by a significant amount. It takes up about 60.5%. Electricity takes up about 21.1% of the energy usage, with gas not far behind at 18.4%.
So now that we have talked about energy usage, we'd like to talk about energy generation. The home currently uses no form of energy generation. Energy generation can be used to alleviate some of the costs that come from energy usage. With Duke Energy, they allow you to install a renewable energy source on your property and gain earnings based on the energy it produces and the option you choose. There are two options for this. There's a sell all option and a net metering option. So if you choose the sell all option, it's more beneficial if you're generating more power than you typically use. If you choose the net metering option, you can decrease your energy bill based on how much energy you're generating. So for this household, it would be best to choose a net metering option. This is due to the large amount of energy usage in the household. It will also, so the net metering option will reduce the cost on energy and likely lead to a better energy conservation habits. So a couple options for future energy generation. With Duke Energy, you can get the renewables-backed energy supply. So rather than getting your energy from fossil fuels, you can choose to get your energy from renewable energy. This is a much cleaner and cheaper option because current rates for production by fossil fuels is in the area is around 11 cents per kilowatt hour. But if you choose to go with a renewable option, it's about 3 to 6 cents per kilowatt hour. So for solar, this is a more common option. Mill Creek allows you to install rooftop solar, but it's the only option you can do for energy generation. Installing a rooftop solar array and using Duke Energy's net metering option allows you to decrease your annual energy usage and cost. The energy that is generated from rooftop solar will cause net energy consumption to decrease because some of the energy is being put back from the generation. And so the main takeaways from this energy assessment, the total household usage for the year of 2020 was about 48,551 kilowatt hours. And we believe that the item responsible for the most energy usage was air conditioning and heating, because it led to most of the gas usage and also a large bit of the electricity usage. Between vehicles and household, vehicles used significantly more energy per year. Vehicles used 74,368 kilowatt hours per year, and the household energy was only 48,551 kilowatt hours. Do we think that this accurately represents the actual energy usage? Yeah, we'd say this is a fair assumption because, or accurate representation, because it's a large household. I mean, there's 5 people, it's a large house, so it requires a lot of energy usage, but there's also many vehicles, and being in a suburban area, there tends to be a lot of travel, and this can lead to a lot of energy usage as well.